All right, so in this video, I'm going to answer a question that I recently got, and I've had multiple as a personal trainer and a health and performance expert. And that is, should you eat bananas if you're trying to lose weight? And then he asked, if you're trying to lose weight, which fruits should you stay away from or which fruits could you eat? So really what I see that as is, should you eat fruit if you're trying to lose weight? Now, in the short answer, is I would say no. Now, before you get all worked up here, there is kind of multiple answers to this question, and it's really kind of individualized, but I just want to give you some tips here, my professional recommendation on what to do and what not to do. Now, if you're somebody, the whole concept about weight loss is really one thing that you need to monitor and regulate, and that is your insulin levels. Now, without getting into so scientific and taking 10 minutes to explain this, insulin levels is simply when you have a high glycemic meal or high glycemic food. That's just a fancy term for how much does it spike your insulin after you eat that specific meal or food. Now, foods have an index applied to them, so foods that are very high, like fructose, high sugar, is going to have a high index, and so it's going to have a major spike in your insulin. Now, if you're someone trying to lose weight, or even just for health, is you want to monitor and regulate that spike. You don't want it to skyrocket. Multiple reasons. One, yes, you're gonna get a burst in energy, but then you're gonna get a massive plummet in that insulin level, and that's when you get that 10:30 crash or 2:30 crash. And that's also why after you eat sugary foods or something, you feel good, you feel energized, you feel awake, but you're gonna pay you're gonna pay for it later on. So if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to have that spike. Now the thing is with fruits, a lot of them are higher glycemic. Now you probably don't have a chart in front of you to be like, okay, is this fruit going to be high glycemic? So you don't really have that ability, and you just want to know the quick answers. Bananas are higher glycemic, so I highly recommend to stay away from having 2 bananas a day or even starting your day with it. But the thing is with that too is if you're going to have fruit, include a moderate amount of fat with it or a protein source. The reason for that is there is a lot of talk about glycemic index and don't have high glycemic index foods, but when you combine it with other foods, what really matters is the glycemic load. What that does is the other foods that you eat with that banana is going to affect the overall response that you have. So if you have fats with it, you have proteins with a fruit source, it's going to lower that glycemic load and slow down that release in insulin. You're not going to have such a spike. So my girlfriend just asked me that too. I said, if you're going to have banana or something, or even any sort of fruit, mix it in with something smaller to lower that response so you don't put on excess fat. Reason for that is when the insulin levels are high, your body is in a storing state. So if you don't need it for immediate energy or your muscles are all full of glycogen, it goes in stored as fat. Also, when your insulin levels are secreted up high, your body cannot oxidize and burn your stored fat, so you're not burning any fat. So somebody that constantly has high levels of that insulin, having little bits of fruits or sugary things all throughout the day, with pretzels and things like that, just snacking all day long, your body's shutting off its ability to burn your fat. So, and if you are going to eat fruits, some of the fruits that are higher fibrous, that are going to, again, higher fiber is going to lower that insulin secretion, things like berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, stick to those. Things like grapes, watermelon, bananas are much higher in that secretion of insulin, so you really limit that. So if you're going to have fruit, have the berries that are lower in it, or mix it in with something like healthy nuts, almonds, walnuts, just a few, just to lower that, or with a protein source. You put it in your protein shake if you have a good protein. And really it's about, again, tons and tons of colorful vegetables, having moderate amounts of fruit. And here's my message for those of you that have been struggling for years to lose weight, and you're probably 20 to 30 pounds overweight or you're obese, is there's a very, very good chance with me working with hundreds and hundreds of people, very overweight people and obese people, is that you're probably resistant to insulin. You're insulin resistant, meaning that when you eat foods, your body spikes the insulin and it just doesn't respond to it. So it forces your body to produce more and keep that level high versus bringing that level back down low. Now, if you think about it, if that level's high, like I spoke about, and you can't burn fat when the level is high, that's why you're continuing to struggle. And it's like, you feel like you're not eating much, but you just can't lose weight. That's why. Now, for someone like you, you have to cut off, I would recommend all fruit for a good 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Stick to lean proteins, healthy fats, and vegetables. So your body can have its opportunity to resensitize to those insulin levels and then slowly start introducing fruits back into your diets and some of those higher carbohydrates. But you have to go through that period of time, that work, to resensitize yourself. And that's the fact about it. It's just something that you have to do. Though, even though it's fruits you think healthy, you got to stop that. So that's the answer to that question. That I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of, people have the wrong perspective of that too, because I've seen also when people just go ape crap on fruits, because like fruits are healthy, and so they're having 3 servings of fruit a day, and they're still struggling with that weight. That one fix there. Moderate that down, replace that with vegetables or have some fats in there to lower your glycemic load so you don't get that spike of insulin. And just remember, the number one thing to control your weight or lose weight, to get fit, to feel healthy, is regulating and monitoring your insulin. If you can master that one skill, I promise you, you will end the headaches and you will end the battle, you'll end the yo-yo dieting, you're going to feel absolutely amazing and great. So if you're looking to get that resensitized insulin, also fasting, detoxing, I'm going to put a link below. I have a free 4-day detox and reset program for someone like you that needs that jump start to get you resensitize your insulin and get you to get that breakthrough and end that struggle that you may be having. Or you're just someone that's want to amplify your performance and energy, it's good for you too. So I'll put a link, should be below here. Click that. All you got to do, enter your name and email, and I'll shoot that over to you. Have a video to kind of walk you through it, set you up for right frame of mind. You're going to be feeling absolutely amazing that day 5. So click that link, check that out.